so high and so strong, but the truth's gonna break through before too long. Every single day, the same damn old game, pointing all the fingers, nobody takes the blame. This pressure's building, it's starting to crack. Ain't no turning back now, ain't no holding back. I'm about to say it, yeah, I'm about to scream. Tired of the fake smiles, living in a dream. The real life's bleeding out in the cold. Gotta break the mold, gotta let it unfold. I'm about to say it, every single word. The uncomfortable truth finally gonna be heard. I'm gonna say it.
Grand rising to all. We are back for hashtag I'm gonna say it. I know it's been a long time. Like these 6 days has been so long. Lucky Wave in the building. Thank you for joining us, Lucky Wave. How you been doing? Bev, I think that says Bev McKenzie. Welcome in, Bev McKenzie. How you doing? Thank you for joining hashtag I'm gonna say it. Ton, I see you. Welcome in, Ton. Joining hashtag I'm gonna say it. Ton, I see you. Welcome in, Ton. Hey, look, I know it's been a while. It's been a while since we had a show. Life. When I say life has been lifing, I mean that. The last show we had was Wednesday. Thursday, I woke up. My wife and I got our little girl together. Took her to school, dropped her off. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Dropped her off at school. On the way to take my wife to work, we get a phone call. And there's a doctor telling my wife that her mother is at the emergency room or in the emergency room and had a stroke. So, needless to say, life as we knew it changed then. Like it was everything was chaotic from that point on. Right? So after that, she's been dealing with that. And then Sunday, first and foremost, thank you all for saying congratulations on the baptism. I appreciate you so much. Yes, I'm glad I made that decision. I've been wanting to make that decision for quite some time now. And I actually went through and did it. One of the greatest things I've ever done. I've done it before, but I didn't know exactly what I was doing, I guess you could say. But this time I have a better understanding. I know what's expected and what comes with it, and I proudly and humbly accept that. You know, I am excited that I decided to dedicate my life to the Lord. And with that being said, though, today's show is going to be a little different. I know typically when we have our show, we're always talking about the celebrity things that are going on. And that's fine, and that will continue. By the way, for those who say that, well, that's gossiping. Well, let me explain to you why we talk about the celebrities in the way that we talk about them. If you all can go and you get your Bible and you read Mark chapter 8, verse 35. That's why we do that. Because these celebrities have made a decision to praise money, to praise cars, to praise D-Rugs, Smex, houses, and so on and so forth. But they've decided to praise that more than God. And it will be our distinct pleasure to continuously point that out in hopes that you understand that God is a jealous and doesn't like anybody else. Should he? And so when we come to should he? And so when we come to honor, when we come to praising, when it comes to things of that nature, should he? And so when we come to honor, when we come to praising, when it comes to things of that nature, worshiping. God's the only thing we do that for. You don't let cars, houses, women, men, whatever. You don't let that preside over God. But with that being said, today I want to do something different. We're gonna switch gears a little bit. Am I glitching? Am I glitching? Because it looks like over here I am a little bit from what I can see. Hopefully it's not the platform being mad at me about what I'm talking about. But anyways, we're going to get to it because it's the right thing to do. So today we're going to do something different. We have the issues and the chaos that we have in the world. Jenny, thank you for coming in, bestie. The chaos that we have in the world is because people don't understand that the days and times that we are living in, the things that are going on right now, it's written in the Bible. I had somebody tell me or ask me. I don't know. She was kind of doing both. She was asking and telling. Why do I believe in the Bible? Why do I believe in the Bible? It was written by man. How do I believe that? Well, if you read your Bible, yes, it was written by men, but these were men that walked with Jesus. If you read the Bible, the things that it's saying will happen in the end times. When we are at the end of times, the things that it said will happen are happening. And that's what we're going to cover today. But now this is going to be a two-part series. So we're going to do half today, and then you got to come back and we're going to do half tomorrow. Because there's a lot of things that's in the Bible that that Jesus stated we would see. And those things would be a sign that his return is soon to come. And I want you all to know that. I want you all to make it to that new world, heaven, that new world that he said he's going to go and create for us. Family, you can't pick your family. That's DNA. That's bloodline. But friends are the only family that we can pick for ourselves. And I think of you all as my friends, and I think of you all as family. And in that, and what comes with that is the fact that I love you. I love your soul. And so I want to take some of the things that I've learned when I have decided to take this new spiritual journey, and the things that I've learned and the things that I've read and seen in the Bible. And I can look outside and see that those same things that Christ said would happen is happening. And I know you all see it as well, but you just may not know. And so I can't sit here and say that I love you or that I care about you, and I don't make an effort to try to help save you. And understand, by me doing this, I'm no preacher. Understand, I'm no saint. But I am capable of sharing the knowledge with you. And that's what I'm going to do. So like I said, today is going to be it's going to be a two-part show. So we'll do half today, and then we're going to do half tomorrow. Adrienne, welcome in. And so this is from the video credit for today's show. Well, this half, and it'll be tomorrow's half too. But the video credit goes out to Grace Digital Network, right? And the title of this is, I'm sorry, I got a comment. Okay, Jenny says, does it really matter who wrote the book when it helps people in their day-to-day? That part, bestie, that part. Thank you for that heart me. I appreciate the heart me's. I'm sorry. Thank you for the heart me, Adrian. I appreciate that. Let's give it up to Adrian. Adrian just reached fan level 10 in the fan club. Let's give it to her. As well as Adrian just got that number 2 gifter badge. I appreciate that, bestie. Thank you. You're right, Jenny. It shouldn't matter. Thank you for the heart, me babe. I appreciate it. It shouldn't matter who wrote the book, especially when it's giving you instructions on what's going to happen when this days and time is approaching us. And so Grace Digital Network is who I'm giving the video credit to for today. And the title of it says, Jesus said, when you see this, and this is capitalized, don't pray, just run. Now, when I saw that, I remember when I was reading the Bible and it mentioned that there'll be two people out in the field working. One would disappear and basically go up. One will be left here. You know, and so he was talking about this part, just run. He said that when he was talking about this, but this is a return, his return when he's coming back. And you know, some of his disciples was asking him, like, how will we know when that time is happening? He answered, Jesus answered, but he the thing about it is he was saying that these things will take place. We will see these things happen. But not even the angels know when the time or the hour will be. Now, you can think about it this way. There's a lot of people that woke up this morning who had plans to do something. They have plans to meet with loved ones or friends or be somewhere or watch something. Tonight, 8 o'clock. They've got that. That's what's going to happen. They got to be somewhere. And how many of you know that they won't make it? Because their hour has came. He says it's going to be like a thief in the night. It's going to come like a thief in the night. You're not going to know. Rochelle, welcome in, bestie. We're not going to know. So I want to share this with you. I want to take a break from talking about the celebrity thing, because I feel like this is important. I feel like this is highly important, right? And when you're listening to it, I want you to just stop and think about what's being said. And then think about what you see going on in the world today. Jenny says we have to have discernment and trust in his process and plan. I love that, bestie. I love that. And you are 1,000% correct. I'm not going to hold you all any longer. Like I said, we're going to do half. And then tomorrow you can come back and we're going to do the second half. All right? Let's go.
Something demonic. What if I told you something demonic has already been awakened in Israel? Not a myth, not a symbol, but something real, something Jesus warned us about, a prophecy so serious, Jesus didn't say pray. He said run. What could be so evil, so dangerous, that the Son of God said to flee without looking back? This isn't just a historical event.
How you doing? Welcome
This is a prophecy that happened before and will happen again. It's called the abomination of desolation, and what's even more terrifying, many believe it's beginning right now. Has Israel just triggered the countdown? And is the world sleepwalking toward a prophetic trap? And what's revealed next will uncover the real reason Jesus said not to stop for anything, not even to grab your coat. What you're about to see isn't fiction. It's unfolding step by step, exactly how the Bible said it would.
That's that process, ain't it, Jenny?
Let's rewind the moment. Jesus was sitting quietly on the Mount of Olives. His eyes looked across the valley, straight into the heart of Jerusalem, straight at the temple. His disciples asked the question we all want answered. When will the end come?
No offense, but if you're paying over $30,
That's commercial. That ain't part of it.
And Jesus didn't hesitate. He gave a clear, urgent, terrifying clue. The next verses you hear will unlock a countdown Jesus himself initiated. Matthew 24, verse 15. When ye therefore shall...
Hold on. I give you all time to write that down. Matthew 24:15. Write this down. Just write it down. And then after the show, you can go get your Bible and you can read it for yourself. So, you know, because you don't want, I don't want you to think that this is just somebody who put the video together and they saying what they want to say and I'm fitting their narratives and stuff like that. You can go read it in your own Bible. That's Matthew chapter 24, verse 15. Let's go.
I'll see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. He didn't say wait. He didn't say pray. He said run. This wasn't poetry. It wasn't a parable. This was a military level evacuation order from heaven. And the most alarming part, he tied it to a specific moment in time and a specific location. What you are about to hear will show why that moment Jesus saw might already be repeating right now. But what Jesus saw that day wasn't just for their time. It was a warning for ours. The temple, the holy place, Jerusalem. But what exactly is the abomination of desolation? Because what Jesus saw that day is about to rise again in full view of the entire world. Was Jesus pointing to a future event the world would never see coming? Could it be that this wasn't just a warning for the past, but for something the church is about to face again? And if we misread it, will we be ready in time? Because this one location, this one act, may be the final domino that sets off the Great Tribulation, and if you wait too long to act, you may not get another chance. If we ignore this warning, we might not survive what comes next. This is the moment that could change your eternity. But to truly understand how dangerous this moment is, we have to go back to the first time it happened. The temple in Jerusalem. So, what is the abomination of desolation? Jesus didn't leave us guessing. He pointed straight to the prophet Daniel. Daniel 11:31 says, "They shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall..."
That's Daniel chapter 11, verse 31.
"I'll place the abomination that maketh desolate." It's when someone walks into the holy place of God and does something so wicked, so demonic, that it desecrates the entire sanctuary. It turns sacred ground into a stage for Satan. The holy becomes unholy. Worship turns to blasphemy. And the presence of God is replaced by something dark. This isn't just symbolic. It has already happened once before in history, and as we keep going, you'll see exactly how it's being set up to happen again, right under the world's nose. But prophecy says it will happen again. And when it does, it will divide the real followers of Jesus from the ones who were just playing church. And in just a few moments, we'll reveal why millions of Christians may celebrate the very thing Jesus said to run from. The question is, will we recognize it when it does? Because the next time it happens, it won't be in secret. It will shake the whole world. To understand the abomination of desolation, we have to go back, not to modern Israel, but to a time when the Second Temple still stood. Back to a man named Antiochus Epiphanes. He wasn't just a king. He was a Greek ruler fueled by hatred, not just for Israel, but for Israel's God. He didn't bring peace. He brought terror. And in 167 BC, Antiochus did something that shook the ancient world and left a scar in Jewish memory forever. He marched into Jerusalem with an army, but he didn't just conquer the city. He walked into the temple, the very house of God, the place that was supposed to be holy, sacred, untouchable. And there, he committed one of the darkest acts in all of Jewish history. He walked up to the altar, the place where generations had offered sacrifices to the God of heaven, and he defiled it. Not with prayer, not with incense, but with a pig. To us, today that might sound odd, but to the Jewish people, it was unthinkable. Pigs were unclean, forbidden, a direct violation of God's commands in the law. By sacrificing a pig on that altar, Antiochus wasn't just being disrespectful.
Phoenix.
Hold on, it's another commercial.
He was declaring war on God himself. His message was loud and clear. Your God means nothing to me. But he didn't stop there. He built an altar to Zeus, a Greek god, right inside the temple, the most sacred place on earth, transformed into a shrine for a false god. Imagine walking into a church and seeing an idol standing where the cross should be. That's how it felt. That's the level of desecration. And what started in one building is about to echo across the entire earth. And then the persecution began. They were forbidden to pray, forbidden to honor the Sabbath, forbidden to obey the law of God. Anyone who resisted was executed. Women were murdered for circumcising their sons. Scrolls of scripture were dragged into the streets and burned. Faith was outlawed. It wasn't just a military invasion. It was a spiritual takeover. And for a time, it worked. The altar was silent. The temple was desecrated. The people were crushed. But as the darkness deepened, a prophetic pattern began to emerge, one that Jesus himself would later confirm. But that wasn't the end of the story. Because what Antiochus did was only the first shadow. What comes next will be far more terrifying. It was only the dress rehearsal. The real act is still to come. Jerusalem fell silent. The people were crushed. The temple desecrated. The worship of God stopped cold, and the land left desolate. That's why the Bible uses two words, abomination. Because what happened was disgusting in God's eyes. Desolation, because it left behind nothing but ruins, emptiness, and hopelessness. It was so dark, so devastating. Many believed it was the end of the world, but it wasn't the end. It was only a shadow, a warning, a preview of something even worse. Because over 200 years later, Jesus stood on the Mount of Olives, looked across the valley at that same city, and said something chilling. It will happen again. And do you know what? This time, it won't just desecrate a temple. It will trigger a global collapse. Let that sink in. Even after all the pain Antiochus brought, even after the bloodshed, the idols, and the desecration, Jesus said a greater abomination was still ahead. And this is where everything changes. Because if it happened once, and Jesus himself said it would happen again, then the question isn't if it's coming. The question is, are we standing at the edge right now? Because the next abomination won't stay in Jerusalem. It will shake the whole world. History doesn't just repeat itself, prophecy repeats itself. And the signs? They're already forming. Now pay close attention, because this is where the prophecy turns real, fast. There is no Jewish temple standing in Jerusalem right now. The first temple? Destroyed by Babylon. The second, torn down by Rome in 70 AD. But the Bible is clear. A third temple will rise. And once it does, nothing will be the same again. And the preparations? They've already begun. Right now, inside Israel. There are groups training a new generation of priests. They're rebuilding sacred temple vessels according to Scripture. They've bred red heifers, pure and spotless for ritual purification, just as required in the book of Numbers. They've drawn up blueprints based on ancient instruction. The Temple Institute in Jerusalem is ready. All they need now is the green light to build.
Take back control of your erections.
Man, come on.
That green light appears, everything we've discussed so far will move from theory to reality. And once that third temple rises, the prophecy clock doesn't just start ticking, it starts racing. And once it starts, you won't have time to decide what you believe. You'll have to live it or lose everything. Because Scripture tells us the abomination of desolation will stand inside that temple. And when that happens, everything changes. But even before it happens, the world will be celebrating a lie. Will it be built in peace, or will war pave the way? Either way, what comes next has already been written. Now pay attention. This is where things take a terrifying turn. The world will celebrate the rebuilt temple. They'll cheer. They'll say, "Finally, peace in Jerusalem." The altar will burn again. The sacrifices will return. Priests will sing. And the world will think revival has come. But they'll be wrong, because what looks like peace will become the world's deadliest trap. Because the Bible warns, in the middle of this peace, something dark will enter. A man will walk into the temple. Not just any man. A man the Bible calls the beast, the son of perdition, the Antichrist. And when he enters the holy place, he does the unthinkable. But even that is only the beginning. What follows will be unlike anything we've seen. He defiles it. He stands where only God should stand. He demands worship. And in that moment, peace shatters. The world won't see it coming, but God already warned us. This is the signal. This is the abomination of desolation. As the deception grows stronger, even the faithful will feel the pressure to compromise. Millions of lives will change in a single moment, and only those who are grounded in truth will endure. And once it begins, the Great Tribulation will follow.
Right, baby.
And the man who sparks it all
Yep,
is
tribulation
already
period.
stepping into the spotlight. But what he does next will unlock a level of control the world has never seen before. 2 Thessalonians 2:4 gives us a chilling warning.
That's 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. I'll give you time to write that down.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. This isn't just arrogance. This is blasphemy incarnate. One day, a man will stand in the holy place, not just any man, the Antichrist. He won't come with horns or fangs. He'll come with persuasion, with signs, wonders, and a false peace. And then he will claim to be God. And the world? They won't question it. They'll believe him. They'll worship him. And they'll take his mark. And when the mark is given, a line will be drawn across eternity. That's when Jesus says one word, run. Because when this moment comes, it marks the beginning of the Great Tribulation. There will be no pause button, no reset, just the raw test of who you really belong to, Jesus or the beast. Each decision after this point will determine destiny in terrifying clarity. A time of suffering so intense. Jesus said, there's never been anything like it, and there never will be again, not just in Israel, but across the entire earth. This is the tipping point. And once it starts, there's no turning back. And the longer you wait to prepare, the more vulnerable you become. Because what begins in one city will soon engulf the entire world. Imagine this. Jerusalem is alive. Music fills the air. The sun glows over Mount Zion. The temple doors, sealed for generations, now stand wide open. Sacrifices return. Priests lift their voices in praise. Families fill the streets, dancing, weeping, blessing the God of Israel. It feels like prophecy is being fulfilled, a holy revival. A long-awaited promise finally kept. But then everything stops. The music fades to silence. The laughter dies. And all eyes turn to one man walking toward the temple. He moves with confidence. He wears peace like a mask. But behind his calm is something cold, the Antichrist. And what he's about to say will split history in half. At first, he says nothing. He enters the holy place, not with humility, but with pride. He does not bless the people. He does not read the Torah. He does not bow. He turns to the altar, raises his voice, and declares, I am God. The priests are frozen. Some fall to their knees in horror. Others flee the sanctuary in panic. But it's already too late. And in that moment, millions will realize they were never ready in seconds. Celebration becomes chaos. Joy becomes dread. Soldiers march in. Worshipers are dragged out. Believers are hunted. The temple is desecrated, and the Holy Land becomes a place of desolation. But even this horror is not the end. It's only the doorway to what Jesus called the worst time in history. Is this the final signal Jesus warned about? Could this moment be the final key to unlocking the Great Tribulation? What began as a dream ends as a nightmare. And this is the moment Jesus warned us about. This isn't just a warning to Israel. It's a wake-up call for every believer alive. Your faith will be tested. The moment when the abomination of desolation stands in the holy place and the final countdown begins. And from that moment forward, the beast system won't just rise. It will take over.
Hold on. Okay, hold on one second. You all was asking questions. I apologize. I was caught up into what they were saying. All right, let me go back. Let me go back. We're almost finished for the first half. Okay, that's your comment, babe. Daybreak, I'm sorry. Okay, Daybreak 76 says I was still reading Daniel 11. Very interesting. What was that Jenny? Yeah, Jenny says, "What was it? I missed it." Okay, I'm sorry. We don't went so far past. I'm not sure what it was. Okay, you got Daniel. Before Daniel, I believe, wasn't that the Matthew 24th chapter? No, you posted that, right? This is the First Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. You got that? Hey, good morning, Annabella. Oh, and thank you for that heart me. I appreciate that. Sorry, bestie. Yeah, you had the it was First Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Yes. That's it, Daybreak 76. You're welcome. I'll pay attention now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I told you I was into it, but okay, I'll pay attention. Matter of fact, here I'll set the other thing, other right here, so I can see it, see your comments. All right.
Over everything.
Thanks, babe.
The question is, will we see it coming? Or will we be too distracted, too comfortable?
Was it really God's wish to kill Abraham's elder son? Why Isaac needed to be punished?
That's another commercial.
From that moment on, the beast system doesn't just rise, it takes over. It's
Now you all can't see this, but they're saying the people who chooses to basically worship the Antichrist will have a mark put on them, and some of them have it on their head, some have it on their hand. I don't know where it's going to be, but that's the mark of the Antichrist.
stops being a prophecy and becomes a global reality. And once this system is fully in place, every line between good and evil will be tested.
Yep, the 666. That's right.
Revelation 13 paints the scene in chilling detail. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. This was always the destination. The abomination of desolation isn't the end of the story. It's the trigger. This trigger will decide who gets to live free and who falls into eternal chains. It will affect your future forever. The moment that opens the final door, the door the whole world will walk through, and once that door opens, there's no going back.
Jenny says the only thing I think of is what Muskrat Babysitter saying he had the mark. Yeah, I remember that. I remember her doing the interview. I do remember that interview.
What comes next is no longer hidden digital currency, global tracking, identity systems that decide who gets to eat, move, or speak. Worship will be weaponized, and the image of the beast will demand loyalty. And those who say no, those who refuse to bow, they will be erased, shut out, cut off, watched, hunted, silenced, or worse, killed. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a theory. This is Bible prophecy, and it's already unfolding in plain sight. The beast system is no longer a shadow on the horizon. It's rising through the systems we depend on. It's becoming tomorrow's rule book, and when it's fully in place, you will have
Jenny
to
says
choose.
like Noah in the flood.
But before you decide, you need to ask yourself, could this happen in our lifetime? The only question is, Will you stand for the truth or be swept into the system? You might be wondering, could this really happen now? Is the abomination of desolation still in the future or already at the door? Look around. Jerusalem is trembling and the whole world is watching. Cameras, satellites, and global attention focused on one city. Technology now controls buying and selling. Digital ID, cashless systems, facial scans. What happens when this power falls into the wrong hands? World leaders promise peace in the Middle East, but behind every peace treaty, a trap is being set. The Third Temple? Closer than ever. Blueprints are drawn, materials gathered, priests already trained. They're not dreaming about rebuilding it, they're preparing to. And deception? It's not just out there.
Jenny,
it's in the church,
and that's where the
in
rainbow
pulpits, in worship. Truth is being replaced with emotional sugar, light replaced with fog, and prophecy replaced with comfort. We're not waiting for the end times, we're standing in them. And most people don't even realize it. If you don't open your eyes now, you may not get
Jenny
another
said, right.
chance. Because deception is already here. The signs are here. The warnings are flashing. But are we paying attention or are we already asleep? Because when this final warning hits, there will be no time to debate it. In Matthew 24, Jesus didn't say, "When you see it, be amazed." He didn't say, "Take pictures and post it online." He said, "Let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains." Flee. Not walk, not wait. Run. That's how serious this is. Because when the Antichrist steps into the temple, when the abomination of desolation appears, the countdown begins. The clock starts ticking. And every second that passes pulls the world closer to judgment. There will be no neutral ground. You will have to pick a side, and that choice will last forever. This isn't just a sign, it's a turning point in time itself. A moment that splits history in half and launches the final 3.5 years before Jesus returns. The world won't be ready, but you can be. Because what happens next will shake the heavens and the earth. And the choice we make today will echo when the sky splits open. The abomination will rise. The beast will speak. The world will follow. But that's not the end of the story. Because Revelation 19 says, "And I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse."
That's Revelation 19. I'm going to give you a few minutes to write that down. I'm going to read these comments. We got a few more seconds for part one. Jenny says, "My wife, but nowadays people are using that symbol," we're talking about the rainbow, "for alternative ideas." That's correct. My wife said to Jenny the wrong things, and that's correct. And Jenny said to my wife, "Big time." Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, Revelation 19. Yeah, definitely for the wrong thing. My wife, she said to you, everyone should read Revelation, the entire book. Melissa, hey, bestie, welcome in.
And he that sat upon him was called faithful and true. Jesus is coming back, not as a lamb, but as a warrior. And in righteousness, he judges and makes war. Wait, judges and makes war? Yes. This is Jesus as the king, the warrior, the judge of the world. After the resurrection of the witnesses, the final judgments of God will be unleashed. The Antichrist will double down on his reign of terror. The final battle, the Battle of Armageddon, will be set in motion. The countdown begins here. What unfolds next is written, and it's more real than we've ever imagined. And from this moment on, the world will never be the same again.
Okay, that's where we're going to end part one. That's where we're going to end part one. So if you all enjoyed it, if you all are interested in it, which I pray you are, because this is the only reason I'm doing this, is because I call you my friend, I'll call you my family member, and so it is my due diligence, it is my job to convey this to you in hopes that even if it's one person, I'm cool. As long as we bring somebody to Christ and make their life better. And when I say life, not just this life, but I'm talking about the new world. I'm talking about heaven. That's what we're doing this for. Now, people, I don't know much about the Bible. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just starting to read it. I'm just getting into it. But what I have read, what I have learned, it's here. The day that we make the decision, not the decision, but the day that everything goes down, it's coming. It's closer than we expected that it is. And I want to make sure you've already made the choice to be on the right side. I think a lot of people get so scared when we talk about being a Christian or something like that. It's just like, well, you got to be perfect. And no, they understand that things are going to happen. Jesus came here in the human flesh, so he knows everything, right? He knows we're going to make mistakes. God knows we're going to make mistakes. Thing is, repent, but try to live Christ-like. Princess K, welcome, says same. I will be ordering the Ethiopian Bible, first Bible with all the books. I've heard about that too. In fact, I was watching something about that last night too. It's powerful, people. It's that time where we have to take this thing serious. We have to take it serious. And there's just no other way around that. My wife says he felt all the feels and experienced temptation by Satan. Exactly. That took place. Like, so Jesus knows our struggles and what we go to and the things that we face and how hard temptation could be to withstand. He knows that. Right? So you don't have to think, well, I got to be perfect. I'm going to mess up. But here's the thing. This is why Jesus died on the cross. So that if you're trying to live Christ-like and you do make a mistake, you do sin, we have that option to where we can repent of our sins. Now, understand it can't just be with words. You got to mean it in your heart and got to mean it in your mind. It has to be state of action, state of being, state of mind. Okay? We're going to follow this up with part 2 tomorrow. I don't know what time, but I'll be here. I'll be here. Lord willing, I'll be here. And we're going to pick up part 2. I hope you all got the scriptures written down, that you can all go and check that out. Read them. You'll know. If you don't understand, read them and do your research and understand, or find out how you can understand them better. Okay? I'm going to be honest with you. I really didn't know how to do this. Daybreak says, thanks. You made me dust off my Bible today. I want to read more. Appreciate it. Thank you. Daybreak 76. Thank you. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. I'll tell you. I'll say this in closing. Sunday. And babe, I'm going to be transparent with them. All right. and I love you. And we've talked about it, and it's over with now. But Sunday, what we wanted to do, my wife and I, we wanted to get baptized with our daughter together. All three of us do it together, right? But my wife got, and just to tell you, they had 800 slots open back then. This was a few months ago, but they filled up so fast we all couldn't get it. My wife got in. She got hers in. But when I went to do it, I clicked two because I see underneath there you could add, how many people you wanted to be baptized. And so my wife didn't know that then. And so, anyways, by the time I submitted mine, it didn't work. Jen, thank you. How you doing? Thank you for that heart me. Ah, you missed a good one, bestie. I'm gonna try to play it back. Thank you for the lightning bolts. I appreciate that, Jen. So my wife, when we went to church, she asked him, "Hey, look, my daughter wants to be baptized." Thank you for the rose. I appreciate the roses. Thank you, Jen. She told him, my daughter wants to get baptized, but I got the reservation. So I wanted to know if I could switch it to where she gets baptized, right? And so they allow her to do that. And then fast forward, we get to Sunday. My wife has to go with our daughter because our daughter's only 10 years old. We're not going to let her go anywhere with anybody by herself, right? So my wife had to go with her. Now, so she's standing with her. I mean, you all see the video. My wife is with her when they come in and stuff like that. But so when our daughter goes, when it's her turn to get baptized, she didn't want to go by herself. So my wife went with her. Now I'm in the stands and I'm salty. I'm talking about my cholesterol is high. I'm so salty. Right? Because I wanted to do it together. And I felt like at that time, I felt like I was being robbed of being baptized with my daughter, right? In that moment, people, Satan was already on me. Satan was already on me. I was mad at my wife. Right? So after that, I go down, I get in line, I get in the water, getting ready to get baptized. I can honestly tell you all, when I went down, I was still angry. But when I came up out of that watery grave, I wasn't mad at my wife. When I came up out of that watery grave, I could feel so much bondage being broken off of me. So many things that I've wrestled with and dealt with. And by me telling you this, I want you to understand I'm in no shape, form, or fashion perfect. But I do take this new walk seriously. I do pledge to be a warrior on the battlefield for Christ. You understand? So Satan is real. In a moment where I should be praising, and don't get me wrong about the crowd, but don't get me wrong, I was honored. I was blessed to see our baby girl get baptized. But even in that moment, the devil had me mad at my wife. He had already created a division. Not on her end. She wasn't mad. She didn't do anything, but in me. But when I came back up, I felt everything gone. Thank you, Pink Tech. I appreciate that. I caught it last, but I see that. Thank you so much, Pink Tech. When I came back up, that's why when you see the video and I'm screaming, I just felt it. Everything gone. Everything washed away. Sins forgiven. Bondage broken. And baby, I didn't tell you this yesterday. But when the car accident happened in front of the house, thank you. I love you. And I want to thank you because you said, go get your shoe. I'm out here with no shoes on. Go get my shoes. And we saw the guy laying outside the car. And my baby beelined it down the sidewalk to go help. I love you, baby. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for not even having a hesitation. You just took off. She just needed her shoes. She got her shoes and she went down there. And that was one of the most beautiful things I ever like. That's where I want this world to get to, where compassion, love dominates everything else. It reigns over everything else. Nobody being hated or being treated a certain kind of way because of their race. I don't like that. I'm not for that. I'm never going to like that. I don't want to live in a place where we have toddlers being detained. And just so you know, yesterday when I saw it, it was 2, and they were under the age of 4. And then this morning, I see in the news that a 6-year-old has been detained. This has got to stop, people. This has got to stop. It's not right. It's not what God asked or commanded. And again, I've said it before, and I'll say it a million times from now. He said, love thy neighbor, but he did not specify a color. He didn't specify a race. So those of us that have good sense and education, when he says love thy neighbor and he didn't specify anything, that means everybody. He didn't say if they lived over here. He didn't say if they worked over there. He didn't say none of that. He said love thy neighbor. When he called us his children, I don't remember him specifying a particular race as his children, which leads me to believe that we're all his children. Now, I might not be the sharpest crayon in the box neither, but I like to think Marietta High School, gave me a little knowledge. And so when he says that, he didn't just say love one particular race of people. He didn't say one particular race of people are his children. This is we're all his children. So we should love each other as such. Hey, I didn't know how this was going to work. I was nervous because I know what I'm used to doing. I know what I'm used to giving to y'all. I know what the show is usually about. But that's got to change. That's got to change. And when I say it's got to change, I meant I had to get this out today. This particular show, what we done today, today's topic, I felt needed to be talked about. And whoever didn't like it, they were welcome to leave. And whoever liked it, they were more than welcome to stay. But it was on me. I sit up here and tell you all I love you all. It was on me to convey this to you to help somebody out. Daybreak 76, I'm glad. I'm thankful. I'm grateful that you did that. Baby, my baby's in here. How you doing, baby? I called you this morning. It didn't go through. My wife said the devil is the author of evil and confusion. That is so true. Fabian Allen says you just spoke on it. That's right. We got to do that. We've got to do that. Like, I know. We talk about celebrities all the time. And like I said in the opening, people be like, you gossiping, that's wrong. No, well, Mark 8:35 tells me I'm not wrong because these people are idolizing other things. These people they have sold their soul for riches and completely forgot about God. And there's people. Okay, I'm going to call you after. I'm about to wrap up the show. There's people who idolize those celebrities. And that's not who they should be idolizing. I love you more, baby. Exactly, Fabian. That's right. They sold their souls for money. For money. Do you know that Satan offered Jesus the same thing in the wilderness? Jesus combated him with the word, with the gospel, and stuck to it. So, yes, I will still continuously out these celebrities. But in between that, we will be talking about the Bible. Because I love you all. I want us all to make it to the new world. I want us all to make it to heaven. Because from what I've read, it's so much greater than where we live. I heard they even got colors up there we don't even know. I'm trying to be in that first group that goes up. I'm a big boy. I like to eat a lot. I'm not going to survive a famine. You get me? I need to be in that first group. I've never in my entire life ridden a horse. Have no desire to. Except for that one time when we get to return with him, Jesus Christ. I want to ride a horse. I might be underneath the horse. I might be on the side of something, but I'm going to hold on to that horse. I'm going to be there with him. I'm trying, you know? Yeah, I know. She said, please remember our words have power, and they do. They really do. They really do. And I think I'm going to end it on that note too, baby. I'm glad you brought that up because everybody that follow my show knows how much I like Notorious B.I.G. I was watching a show the other day. In this video, it was an interview of this lady who said that she had went to hell. She had an NDE. But when she had an NDE, she went to hell and she saw Biggie in hell. And she asked, because she said, you know, he was, I don't want to say it on here, they might think something literal. But just know that he was, I don't even know how, he was in hell. Just put it like that. So she asked Jesus, why was he in there? And she stated that Jesus told, well, he said he didn't need me. Now, if you go back and you think of, he had this song, I can't remember the title, but it's on the first album, Ready to Die, right? But the lyric, and I'm not going to say all of the words, of course, because we're on the platform, but just listen to what he said. When I D-I-E, F it, I want to go to H-E-L-L. And then he says, because I'm a piece of a POS, it ain't hard to F and tell. It don't make sense going to heaven with the goody goodies. Dressed in white, I like black Timbs and black hoodies. He goes on to say, God will probably have me on some real strict S-word. No sleeping all day, no getting his, thing lit. Words have power. I was telling my son, I listen to songs now that I loved in the 90s. And I listen to the lyrics. And I see the demonic words that they're saying. I see how they're pushing the narrative of evil. I'm now learning about the vibrations of songs. I already know that we are operating as human on frequency and energy. I already knew that. Henceforth, when your light is blinking and people say that that's a loved one or someone from the other side that's present, it was your life, it was because it's energy and frequency. This is a shell. Our bodies are shells. When it's our time to be center aisle in the church and we go to the other side of life, we don't take this body with us. We are an energy. We are frequency is how we communicate. We're energy. This is just a shell containing that. So remember, like my wife said, remember, our words have power. So I'm challenging you all in closing. Now that you know our words have power, make sure you speak the power of positivity to people, to yourself. Okay? Daybreak 76 says, preach, let God use your voice. And that's all I want to be, Daybreak 76. I just want to be a vessel for him. I want him to know that I love, praise, and honor him and him only. He is my one and only true God. I don't care who thinks that's wrong. Because you see, once we get to that time, once we get to that judgment, it's too late. There's no going back. And so I just rather, when I pass away believing in him. I'd rather get there believing and be wrong than be wrong down here for not believing and get there and can't change it. You know? Right. God, not God. God with the capital G. Yes. Yes. Hey, thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. Don't forget part 2 tomorrow. If you don't know, if you know somebody that wasn't in here today that you think that they would like to hear this or need to hear this, please share. Please invite them. We need to have more conversations about this because the end time is near. And there's going to come a time we won't be able to have this conversation. I love you all. Peace and blessings to you all. Be safe.